Urgent spiritual attack. A demon entered your house through someone's envy. Archangel Michael says, "Open now." My precious one, there's something you must hear, right now. The air around you hasn't been still for days. You felt it, haven't you? That strange heaviness in your home, the sudden silence that feels alive, watching you. It isn't your imagination. Archangel Michael is revealing that an unclean spirit has found its way into your dwelling, not by accident, but through the envy of someone who once smiled at you. The Lord allowed me to see a vision, a faint shadow standing near your doorway, not entering at first, waiting for a crack in your peace. The crack came through jealousy. Someone admired your light, your blessings, your peace, but that admiration turned dark. Their envy opened a spiritual doorway, and what walked through it was not human. Archangel Michael says, the moment they envied, a gate was opened, and the air changed. Beloved soul, envy is more dangerous than a curse because it carries energy of silent destruction. It does not announce itself. It seeps. You may have noticed your sleep being disturbed, unexplained tension, sudden arguments, or even objects falling without reason. These are not coincidences. They are signs of an invisible visitor, a spirit that thrives on the vibrations of confusion and fear. But hear this clearly. You are not helpless. Archangel Michael has already drawn his flaming sword over your house. He stands by your door, waiting for your command to seal what was opened. He says, "You not fear the shadow, fear the silence that follows when faith stops speaking." This means, speak now. Use your voice, your authority, and your belief. The enemy has no power where light is spoken aloud. Before you scroll away, understand this. What I am revealing right now is not just a message, it's a rescue. If you stop now, the spirit of envy continues to linger unseen. But if you stay with me till the end, you'll receive the prayer, the code, and the revelation to send it away forever. Hold on. This next moment could shift the entire atmosphere of your home. Tonight, Archangel Michael will move through your house. But first, he asks you to prepare your heart. Do not panic. Do not curse. Just listen. Because in the next breath, he will speak a command that shuts every demonic entry. Dearest soul, listen closely, because what I am about to reveal carries divine weight. When Archangel Michael spoke these words, it entered through envy. A vision opened before me. I saw homes covered in golden light, yet one by one, small cracks began to appear, cracks caused by emotional wounds, jealousy, bitterness, and comparison. Through those tiny fractures, dark vapors began to slide in. These were not the spirits of strangers, they were the lingering shadows of people once close to you. Sometimes, the demon that enters is not sent by an enemy, it is invited by a friend's hidden resentment. Michael said, the spirit of envy disguises itself as admiration. It smiles, but its heart whispers curses. You must understand that envy carries a spiritual vibration. When someone resents your peace, their words, even if unspoken, become keys that unlock spiritual doors. This is why you might feel drained after certain people leave your home. You feel tired, foggy, uneasy, as if your spirit has been touched by something unseen. That is because it has. Archangel Michael wants you to discern energy more sharply. Not everyone who claps for you celebrates your light. Some clap only to measure your distance, to see if they can dim it. But the Archangel declares, no shadow can stand in the house of faith when light is spoken. This means your authority is already greater than the energy that entered. You only need to activate it. Speak aloud in your home tonight. My dwelling is sealed by the fire of God. No envious spirit can remain here. The reason envy succeeds is because it operates in silence. But when you speak the word, when you declare that your home belongs to the kingdom of light, every demonic sound must flee. Michael showed me a vision of a blue flame surrounding your doorway. His flame. It represents divine defense. The moment you speak with faith, that flame ignites. The spirit of envy cannot withstand it, because it burns with holy authority. You may wonder, why me? Why now? The Archangel answered, because your breakthrough is near, and envy always arrives before elevation. Someone saw your transition. They sensed your rising light, and their spirit, instead of rejoicing, rebelled. But what they meant for disturbance, heaven will use for confirmation. The fact that you're under attack is proof that something powerful is shifting for you. Before this message ends, remember this divine truth. Every demonic entry reveals a hidden doorway of destiny. The enemy only attacks what carries value. So if you feel this presence in your home, it's not to destroy you. It's to remind you that your anointing is awakening. Archangel Michael says, when envy touches light, it exposes itself and is cast out by its own shadow. Hold on, because what happens next will explain exactly how to shut the spiritual gate permanently. The moment you understand this, your home will feel a sudden stillness, a peace that the spirit cannot imitate. Stay with me, because the revelation that follows will show you the final command that closes the portal of envy forever. Beloved spirit, now the light begins to rise. Archangel Michael stands before you, his armor gleaming with divine brilliance, and he declares, the time to expose this spirit is now. You've wondered why certain days feel heavy, why your mind feels clouded, or why sudden waves of sadness appear from nowhere. It's because the spirit that entered thrives on confusion. It hides behind ordinary moments, trying to convince you that what you feel is just coincidence. But Archangel Michael reveals, it is not coincidence, it is confrontation. He showed me a vision of a door inside your home, not a physical door, but a spiritual one, hidden in plain sight. It was open when someone's envy touched your name in secret. When they spoke about you, not in blessing, but in bitterness, their words became a whispering wind that sought entrance. Yet, what they didn't know is that your name carries covenant protection. Michael said, every chosen soul is marked with light, and no darkness can claim what has already been sealed by heaven. The Archangel is now instructing you to reclaim your atmosphere. Tonight, walk through your home with calm authority. Don't shout in fear. Speak in strength. Say, every spirit not sent by God, leave this place now. As you do, imagine the blue fire of Archangel Michael encircling each room, cleansing the air, sealing every corner. You might even sense a change in temperature or an unexplainable calm. That's not imagination. That's Michael's presence restoring order. But there's something deeper you must know. The envy that opened the door was not meant to destroy your life. It was meant to reveal your spiritual rank. Only those walking in divine purpose attract spiritual resistance. Michael whispered, when envy rises, it announces elevation. The battle you're facing is a signal that your next season is awakening. What was meant to drain you will now anoint you. The same energy that came to unsettle your peace will be turned into the very flame that guards your destiny. You must not be afraid of the Spirit's resistance. Its presence is proof that your light is active. When the shadow comes, he only confirms that the dawn is near. That's why Archangel Michael says to you, do not flee from this revelation. Face it, command it, and watch it bow. The sword of Michael is not just a symbol. It is divine authority in action. He has already drawn it in your defense. And as you listen now, his fire is moving through your space. Stay right here, because what unfolds next will reveal the prophetic key that locks the demonic portal permanently. The next revelation will not only cleanse your home, it will realign your destiny. Before you scroll, understand this. What you hear next could shift your spiritual atmosphere in seconds. If this message is speaking directly to your soul, like this video, share it with those who need divine protection, and comment your confirmation below. Subscribe to this channel to stay covered under Michael's shield. And now, as a sign of agreement, type "I am shielded by heaven" in the comments. Blessing code 1177 is now active. And now, as the fire continues to spread across this message, listen to me closely. When you support this mission, you're not just giving, you're planting light into darkness. Every seed you sow helps this message of divine truth reach those under attack right now. The word says that those who sow into light will reap divine covering. When you give, you are becoming the voice of Michael, helping God's message travel beyond walls and screens. I feel led to say this personally. When you release a gift through Super Thanks membership, with a PayPal link in the description, you open the heavens over your own home. You are not donating, you are activating divine protection. Archangel Michael himself says, the giver's home becomes a fortress. So rise up in faith. Be part of this holy movement. Release your offering and declare, "My seed is my shield." Let this be your moment of obedience and protection. Dearest one, the air around you is shifting even as you hear these words. The spiritual world is listening to every vibration of your faith. Archangel Michael stands ready, and now he begins to reveal how envy took form. In the realm of the unseen, every emotion has color, weight, and movement. Envy is not just a feeling, it is a spiritual current. When someone looks upon your blessings and feels resentment instead of gratitude, that emotion takes shape like a gray mist. That mist travels, following names, following memories, following words, and when it finds an opening, it anchors itself. Michael said, "The unguarded heart becomes the gate." That is how it entered your home. You may not even know the person through whom this energy came. It could be a distant relative, a co-worker, even a past friend whose spirit turned bitter over time. The Archangel shows that the envy of one heart can cast a shadow that moves across miles. It doesn't need to knock. It only needs a forgotten prayer, an unspoken fear, a single night of doubt. But heaven is merciful. Even as the shadow entered, light was already preparing its defense. Michael says, every attack permitted is an invitation to awaken. This means that you are being called higher, not destroyed but strengthened. You might have noticed unusual patterns, plants drying faster, sudden exhaustion, disagreements that make no sense. These are not random happenings. They are ripples of spiritual disturbance. But now that the truth has been exposed, its power is collapsing. Archangel Michael's fire moves where revelation begins. The moment you understand how it entered, the exit begins to open. Your awareness is the key, your declaration is the lock, and faith is the seal. Right now, I want you to stand firm in your room and whisper with conviction, "My space is holy ground. No unclean thing could dwell here." As you say this, imagine every dark residue dissolving into nothingness. The Archangel's wings sweep through your home like a burning wind. You may feel warmth, a calm pressure, or even tears rising without reason. That is not fear, it is release. What once claimed your space is being driven out by divine command. But there is another layer you must uncover. Archangel Michael warns that the spirit of envy often leaves behind traces, energy imprints that try to reopen the door. That's why many people feel temporary peace after prayer, but the unease slowly returns. It's because the residue was never removed. The next step Michael gives is purification through spoken light. He says, "Bless what was cursed." This means you must speak blessing over those who envied you. Their energy cannot survive the vibration of love. The moment you bless them, the channel that envy used collapses completely. You might ask, how can I bless someone who wished me harm? The Archangel answers, because blessing is not agreement. It is liberation. You are not freeing them, you are freeing yourself. When you choose to bless, you shut the gate that envy opened and seal it with divine mercy. This is how you disarm the shadow permanently. Hold on, because what comes next will reveal the ancient words Michael gave to warriors of light, the very words that force demons of jealousy and strife to vanish. The power in that revelation cannot be overstated. It is not just prayer, it is command. Stay here, because the next moment will teach you how to activate the Archangel's decree over your entire household. Beloved child of the light, take a deep breath, for this moment is holy. You are not merely listening, you are being positioned for victory. Archangel Michael now reveals the ancient decree that forces all spirits of envy, confusion, and unrest to flee. He spoke these words long before your battle began, and now they return as fire to your lips. He says, where light is declared, shadow cannot dwell. These words are more than comfort. They are law. The universe bends to the voice that speaks with faith. When Michael appeared to me in prayer, I saw him holding a scroll written in golden symbols. Each symbol pulsed like a living heartbeat. He said, "These are the words the faithful must speak when darkness hides in familiar places." And I saw those symbols become light, flooding homes and driving out unseen forms that once clung to walls, mirrors, and corners. He told me to tell you this. You must speak aloud, not whisper. Let your voice carry the conviction of one who knows they are chosen. Say these words now with authority. In the name of the Most High, I command every envious spirit, every shadow of resentment, every unseen force of confusion, leave my home and return to the void. My dwelling is covered in divine fire, my heart sealed by Archangel Michael's sword of truth. As these words are released, you may sense a sudden calm, or perhaps a gentle pressure in the air. That is not your imagination. It is the sound of alignment returning. Michael's presence sweeps through your space, ensuring that every lingering vibration is consumed by heavenly fire. He says, fear is the only language shadows understand, so speak faith instead. This decree does not end with words. It must be followed by action. Michael instructs that after declaring the command, you should open a window or door, even for a moment, symbolizing the spirit's exit. Light a candle or simply allow sunlight to enter. He said, when light and air meet, the spirit of envy cannot stay. You will know the work is complete when the air feels lighter, your thoughts clearer, and your heart steadier. But the Archangel warns of one more thing. The spirit of envy often tries to re-enter through emotional memory. It will whisper to your thoughts, reminding you of offenses, reigniting anger, or feeding worry. That is why he says to guard your emotions as fiercely as your home. You whispered, peace is armor. Protected. Whenever thoughts of comparison or jealousy arise, rebuke them instantly. Speak this line again. My mind belongs to the kingdom of light. The more often you declare it, the thicker the shield becomes. Now that your home is being restored, the Archangel asks you to bless your atmosphere daily. Walk through your space and simply say, thank you, God, for this peace. Every word of gratitude multiplies your covering. Every time you acknowledge the light, more of it enters. The demon that entered through envy cannot stand where daily thankfulness lies. Gratitude is your eternal gatekeeper. Do not turn away yet, because what is coming next is not just deliverance. It is revelation. The next truth will explain why you were chosen for this battle and what spiritual authority you now carry because of it. What's coming will show how this very attack was used by heaven to awaken your prophetic calling. Wait for it, because the next message will unlock the reason behind your resistance and release divine destiny over your life. Chosen one, your battle was never random. It was orchestrated by heaven to reveal what has always been inside you: authority. The moment that spirit of envy entered, it marked the beginning of your awakening. Archangel Michael says, "The warrior's strength is not discovered in peace. It is revealed in resistance." Every night you felt pressure, every tear you cried, every strange heaviness that visited your home was not a sign of defeat. It was the sound of your anointing stirring. You were being taught to command the unseen. When the Archangel appeared again, his eyes blazed with the fire of eternity. He said, "This one carries the bloodline of light." Then he showed me something extraordinary. A vision of you standing in your home, surrounded by a circle of golden fire. Your shadow was no longer dark, it glowed, pulsing like sunlight through glass. Michael said, "This is what envy tried to hide from you. You are not ordinary. You are a carrier of divine presence." The spirit of envy attacked not because of weakness but because of brightness. Shadows chase light only when it threatens to expose them. Now listen carefully. When heaven selects a soul for high realms of authority, that soul must first walk through resistance. Every delay, every misunderstanding, every sudden loss was part of a hidden training. You were not being broken. You were being refined. The Archangel whispered, "Gold is proven in fire. You, beloved, are that gold. This experience has been your refining flame. It is not punishment. It is preparation." Archangel Michael wants you to remember who you are. The enemy tried to make you forget by surrounding you with confusion, but truth cannot be buried. You are the light bearer in your lineage. Generations before you fought without understanding, but you have been given revelation. You are meant to stand where others fell. You are meant to end cycles that have lasted for decades. The Archangel said, "This one will stop what destroyed their ancestors." That is why the attack was so intense. The darkness feared what you would remember once you awakened. You may not realize it yet, but your very presence changes spiritual temperature. When you walk into a room, energy realigns. That's why certain people grow uneasy around you. Why jealousy rises without reason. It's the resistance of darkness to divine identity. But now, Michael commands that you embrace your authority. He says, "Stop surviving. Start commanding. No longer speak as one who fears, speak as one who reigns." When you declare peace, heaven listens. When you rebuke darkness, it trembles. When you bless your home, angels are dispatched. The Archangel is giving you this decree: "My name is written in light, and no envy can erase it. My home is an altar of peace, and no shadow can dwell here. Every curse sent against me returns to the void, for I am covered by Michael's flame and guarded by divine truth." Speak these words aloud, not once but daily. Each repetition engraves them deeper into your atmosphere, until they become your living reality. And now, hear this prophecy. Before this week ends, you will feel an undeniable shift, a calm presence entering your home, a sudden ease in your spirit, or a door of opportunity reopening. That will be the sign that heaven has completed its work. The same attack that once frightened you will soon serve as your testimony. Archangel Michael says, from this moment, your name will be a barrier to darkness. Do not turn away yet. The revelation that follows will unveil the unseen reward hidden behind your resistance, the spiritual inheritance this attack has unlocked. Trust me, what comes next will explain why your battle was sacred and how every moment of pain was secretly building your power. Beloved bearer of light, your soul has now crossed the line between fear and revelation. What once terrified you has now bowed before your understanding. Archangel Michael says, when knowledge enters, darkness exits. The veil has lifted. You now see that the attack was not just a disruption. It was a divine invitation to step into your spiritual inheritance. You were chosen to witness firsthand how envy operates, so you could learn to defeat it not just for yourself, but for generations after you. Heaven does not allow unnecessary battles. Every fight you face is tailored for your growth. This one, though painful, was meant to awaken the warrior that lives within you. Michael shows that envy is the enemy's counterfeit form of aberration. It mimics appreciation but carries poison in its roots. Many times, those who envy you do not even realize they are being used as vessels for darker currents. The demon rides upon their thoughts, whispering comparisons, feeding resentment, and sending that energy toward your peace. Yet, when the Archangel rises, those thoughts are intercepted mid-air, stripped of power, and returned as harmless wind. He says, you are not a victim of their thoughts. You are the master of your atmosphere. That truth alone dismantles everything that was sent against you. Now that the portal of envy is sealed, you must learn to maintain your home as a sanctuary. Archangel Michael instructs that spiritual protection is not a one-time event. It is a lifestyle of awareness. Keep your atmosphere alive with gratitude, worship, and clarity. Speak words that build, not break. Refuse gossip, refuse comparison, and refuse bitterness. These are not just moral instructions. They are shields of frequency. Every positive word raises your spiritual vibration until nothing dark can stay. Michael said, let your home hum with praise, and no demon will find rest there. He also revealed a mystery about the power of atmosphere. He said, the walls remember. Every conversation, every emotion, every prayer leaves residue in your home. When you fill the air with light daily, the memory of your home begins to change. It becomes a temple. Shadows that try to enter find no place to land. So walk through your home in the morning and simply say, peace be multiplied here. At night, whisper, I sleep under the fire of God. These two declarations alone are enough to maintain your covering. But now comes the deeper revelation, the reason heaven allowed you to experience this attack. Archangel Michael said, so that you may carry deliverance for others. The pain you felt, the nights you wept, the fear you endured, it was all training. You will now begin to sense when others around you are under spiritual heaviness. Your discernment will sharpen. You will walk into places and feel what is wrong without needing to be told. That is not sensitivity, that is spiritual authority awakening. The Archangel has chosen you to become an intercessor of light, one who carries divine presence wherever you go. This is why the enemy tried so desperately to make you afraid of your own gift. Fear was his final defense, but it failed. You have passed the test, and now Michael speaks this over you. Because you stood through the storm, you will command the wind. Because you face the shadow, you will lead others into dawn. From this day forward, the presence that once followed you will now flee before you. Every demonic spirit that even senses your approach will remember your name written in fire. But before we end here, understand this. Your testimony must be spoken. When you share how light conquered darkness in your home, you give others permission to rise. And what happens next will teach you how to release this power outward, how to carry the same authority that cleanses your home into the lives of those you love. Stay here, because the next revelation will show you how to become a walking flame of deliverance. Beloved vessel of divine power, the transformation is almost complete. You have crossed from being the one under attack to being the one darkness fears. Archangel Michael stands before you now with a mantle, a radiant robe woven with light that seems to move like living flame. He declares, "Take this mantle." It is the authority of one who has conquered envy through faith. The Archangel's voice is thunder and calm all at once, and as he speaks, a scroll of destiny unfolds before your name. You are no longer simply one who survived. You are a keeper of spiritual gates, entrusted to guard your home and guide others out of darkness. Michael reveals that the spirit of envy, though expelled, often tries to return in disguise. It comes as insecurity, self-doubt, or comparison. It whispers you are not enough or someone else is ahead of you. But remember this, envy cannot dwell where gratitude is spoken. Each time you give thanks, you build a wall of gold around your spirit. Gratitude is the psalm that demons cannot tolerate. The Archangel says, "The thankful heart is a fortress, and the envious cannot enter." So begin to practice holy gratitude. Thank God not only for what you see but for what is unseen, the protection you never noticed, the favor that kept you from harm, the guidance that redirected your path. Now, Archangel Michael instructs you to turn your restored energy outward. He says, when you see others under the same attack, do not pity them. Speak light over them. You have the authority to shift atmospheres. When a friend confesses heaviness or fear, declare peace aloud. When someone tells you their home feels strange, teach them what you have learned. You are no longer a receiver of revelation. You are now a carrier of it. Heaven moves through your voice, and even your presence will unsettle what is unclean. This is your new identity, a flame in human form, walking among the weary. The Archangel shows me a vision of you standing at a threshold, your hands glowing with white light. As you stretch them outward, beams of energy ripple through space, touching others who are struggling silently. Each ripple becomes a seed of deliverance. He says, where you stand, no shadow will stay. The very energy that once entered your house through envy will now be reversed. It will become an armor of reflection. Any dark intention directed toward you will be reflected back as divine conviction, forcing hearts to repent or retreat. You are no longer open to the attack. You have become the weapon. Michael then reminds you that this mission is not to be kept secret. The testimony you carry is light meant to spread. When you speak about what God and the Archangel have done, you extend protection to others. Your story becomes a sword. So do not remain silent. Let the world hear that divine power is real and alive. The Archangel says, those who declare the victory of light multiply it. That is why you must use your voice, your influence, and your platforms to spread this word. Every word spoken in faith becomes a spiritual shield for someone else. Now pause for a moment and breathe. Feel the stillness in the air around you. That is the sign that Michael's fire has completed its cleansing work in your home. The peace you sense now is not temporary. It is established. Yet, the Archangel warns, protect this peace with vigilance. Keep your atmosphere pure. Guard your conversations. Live in forgiveness, for forgiveness is the oil that keeps the flame burning. If anger stays too long, it becomes a doorway again. Keep your heart light, and your home will remain bright. Before you leave this moment, if this message is speaking to your soul, take a moment to lift this mission higher. Like this video to strengthen the shield of faith across others' screens. Comment your confirmation to seal this word in the earth. Share this message with someone who needs to hear Archangel Michael's voice in their battle. And subscribe, because each revelation that follows will keep you covered under this divine mantle. Type "I am the fire of God's house" in the comments to declare your agreement. Blessing code 7070 is now activated upon your name and your dwelling. And now, hear this final call of purpose. When you support this mission, you join the army of light. Every act of giving, every offering through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description becomes a weapon of deliverance in the hands of heaven. Archangel Michael says, each seed given in light drives back 10 shadows. You are not donating, you are sowing into souls that need freedom. Through your giving, these words travel farther, reaching those who sit in silent fear tonight. I speak this over every giver now. Your home will not know emptiness. Your hands will not lack. The oil of abundance will flow wherever generosity is found. This is not a request. It is a divine instruction. Support this sacred work. Stand in the army of Michael and declare, "My gift is my weapon. My seed is my shield." Chosen soul, the fire that began in revelation has now turned into purpose. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of your story, not as a distant guardian, but as a constant companion. He says, now that you are free, you must learn to walk as one who is aware. The attack that came through envy has been broken, but the discipline of discernment must remain. Deliverance without awareness invites repetition. That is why Michael now teaches you to live from a place of spiritual observation. Eyes open, heart alert, and faith ever speaking. When the archangel appeared again, his presence filled the air with silence, the kind of silence that speaks. He said, "Peace is not the absence of battle, it is the mastery of it." What you are feeling now, the calm, the steadiness, is not an accident. It is spiritual order. The vibration of your home has changed. What once hid in corners now flees from your authority. Every sound, every wall, even the air itself remembers your declaration. You have rewritten the atmosphere. Michael says, heaven now recognizes this space as consecrated ground. But here lies the greater mystery. The spirit of envy did not come only to attack. It came to reveal the hidden alignment of your destiny. For every act of resistance you faced, heaven recorded a response. Each prayer you spoke created light signatures in the spiritual realm, tracing your growth in divine authority. Michael showed me these as golden lines stretching upward, forming a crown. He said, "This crown is invisible to man, but it shines before heaven." Every test passed becomes another stone in its making. That is why what you faced had to be personal. The attack entered your home because your home represents your foundation. The enemy wanted to shake your roots so that your branches would not grow. But instead of breaking, you deepened. You prayed louder. You stood longer. You refused to surrender even when you didn't understand. That single choice, to trust without seeing, was the moment heaven sealed your destiny. You are no longer the one asking for protection. You are the embodiment of it. Archangel Michael is now opening the next phase of your journey, stewardship. He says, guard what you have been given. Every revelation you receive is a weapon. Every prayer you learn becomes a tool of victory. Use them. Teach them. Let your life become a living manual of spiritual awareness. When others face heaviness, confusion, or jealousy, you now know what to do. Speak light, release peace, and call Michael's name. This is how the army of light multiplies. This is how the darkness loses ground. You may notice that since the day this message began, something inside you feels different. There's a quiet strength in your chest, a knowing that wasn't there before. That's not emotion, that's confirmation. It's the residue of divine power, the echo of Michael's sword in your atmosphere. It lingers as proof that your home is not just cleansed, it's marked. From now on, every person who steps inside your house will feel this shift. Some will call it calm, others will call it strange. But you will know, it's the peace that only divine fire can build. Archangel Michael leaves you this instruction. Do not look back at what was sent against you. Look ahead to what I am sending through you. The storm was preparation, not punishment. What you've endured has sharpened your discernment, trained your spirit, and established your authority. The same door that the enemy used to enter is now the gate through which your blessings will arrive. The portal has not been destroyed, it's been redeemed. Hold fast, because the next revelation will unveil what happens when your restored peace begins to overflow into others' lives. You will witness how your testimony becomes protection for your bloodline, and how the fire of Michael moves from your home to the homes of those who hear your words. Do not step away now. This is where your victory turns into generational impact. Beloved guardian of light, you have crossed the threshold of deliverance into dominion. The storm that once surrounded you has now bowed before your authority. Archangel Michael stands in the center of your home, his sword no longer drawn for battle, but lifted in blessing. He says the season of defense is ending. The season of establishment begins. Your home has been cleansed, your mind awakened, and your heart fortified. But now heaven is asking something deeper, to become a vessel of transference. This means that the peace you now carry must overflow into others. You were not freed just for yourself. You were freed so that others might encounter freedom through your life. Michael showed me a vision, a golden river flowing from your chest, winding through the walls of your home, spilling into streets, neighborhoods, and distant lands. He said, "The light that begins within one faithful heart will always find its way into many others. Every word you speak with truth from now on will carry the residue of this light. When you comfort someone, they will feel peace they cannot explain. When you pray, chains will loosen in unseen places. The spirit of envy that once tried to enter your home will no longer find rest anywhere near you, because your very voice will release the vibration of cleansing." But the Archangel also warns that divine influence requires divine humility. He said, "Never forget that your power was born through surrender, not pride. This authority is not for boasting. It is for building. When you pray for others, do it quietly and sincerely. Let your focus be on the restoration of souls, not the recognition of man. The unseen world always responds to purity. When your intentions remain pure, heaven amplifies your reach. What used to be whispered attacks from shadows will now turn into whispered blessings released through you. Michael wants you to understand a holy principle. The one who conquers envy must never become its host. Guard your spirit from the subtle seed of pride. Pride is simply envy reversed. It is the same darkness wearing a different mask. He says, if envy tried to enter your home, pride will try to enter your heart. Close that door. The way to keep pride away is gratitude. Thank God daily for His light, His protection, His mercy. Every moment of gratitude keeps your spirit aligned and your authority pure. Your home, which was once a battleground, is now a sanctuary. Each night, before you rest, take a moment to acknowledge the stillness. That silence is not emptiness. It is the sound of heaven keeping watch. Angels now stand at every corner of your dwelling. The energy that once felt heavy now hums with warmth and calm. Even as you sleep, Archangel Michael's presence lingers like a shield around your walls. He said, "No spirit of envy will find its way back here, for this house now bears the mark of fire." Yet, the Archangel's teaching continues. He says, "Your home is only the beginning. Your legacy is the mission." This means that the same power protecting your home must now flow into your relationships, your work, your decisions, your future. Every action should carry light. The more you release light, the more darkness retreats, not just around you, but through the generations after you. Your obedience now rewrites what your ancestors could not change. The curses they faced will not find your children, because your faith has broken the line. You may already feel something in your spirit, a peace that feels unfamiliar, almost ancient. That is your inheritance awakening. The peace you feel is not temporary. It is ancestral correction. Archangel Michael calls it the reversal of shadows. The energy that once tried to follow your bloodline has been stopped by the authority of your belief. You are the turning point. Heaven has declared that the line from you forward is marked by divine light. Do not move away now, because the revelation that comes next will uncover what your new spiritual position unlocks, how the authority you carry can alter destinies and call down blessings from realms unseen. Stay until the next word is spoken, because what follows will transform this story of survival into a prophecy of expansion. Child of eternal flame, what began as a warning has now become your ordination. The very forces that sought to disturb your home have been turned into witnesses of your ascension. Archangel Michael now speaks not as a messenger standing beside you, but as a commander addressing one of his own. He says, "The one who conquers darkness through understanding shall rule through peace." Your house, your body, and your spirit have been rewritten by light. The shadows that once watched from corners now stand outside the boundaries of your authority, unable to return. This is not just victory. It is transformation. Michael reveals that when a soul passes through battle and refuses to yield, heaven grants that soul a mantle of governance. This means you now have the right to set spiritual order not only over your home, but wherever your feet tread. The Archangel says, "Where you walk, the ground will remember your fire." That fire is the signature of your obedience. Every prayer you have spoken since this message began has layered your life with divine substance. You are now wrapped in invisible armor, faith on your front, peace on your back, light in your hands. The energy of envy, confusion, and fear cannot penetrate this covering because it is woven from revelation. The Archangel showed me a vision of your household from the heavens. It glowed like a lighthouse, sending beams of light in all directions. These beams reached other homes, touching hearts that were in despair. He said, "This is what happens when a soul turns pain into purpose. What was once a single victory has now become a signal. Angels are being dispatched to those who are connected to your faith. Through your intercession, others are being delivered, even those who have not yet heard this message. The light that surrounds your home now radiates beyond walls, crossing cities, reaching nations. You have become a living conduit of heavenly fire. Michael wants you to understand that power and humility must always walk together. He warns that as your light grows, some will resist it. Not everyone will celebrate your peace. Some will question it. Others may mock it. But he says, "Do not defend your light. Demonstrate it. Live in such calm authority that the fruit of your life answers every accusation. Peace is its own defense. Your serenity will speak louder than any explanation. Every moment you choose stillness instead of anger, you remind the unseen world that the battle has already been decided." The Archangel also brings a word for your future. There will be movements of shaking in the world, but the house sealed by faith will not crumble. You are being prepared for seasons ahead when fear will rise among nations. When others panic, you will remain unmoved. The reason heaven allowed you to face this personal attack was to build spiritual immunity within you. You will not absorb the fear of the world because your frequency is no longer human anxiety. It is divine alignment. The spirit that once entered through envy cannot even recognize you anymore. You have become something it cannot approach. You have ascended. In this higher state of awareness, your prayers will begin to manifest faster. You will speak peace and see it occur. You will pray for others and watch burdens lift. You will walk into rooms and feel the atmosphere adjust to your presence. This is not arrogance. It is divine resonance. Archangel Michael says, when the light inside a soul becomes pure, creation listens. That is the authority you now carry. You are no longer reacting to darkness. Darkness is reacting to you. But hear this final instruction before the closing revelation. The Archangel commands that you continue to keep your altar alive. Whether through daily prayer, reading of the Word, or silent reflection, keep the fire within you burning. Flames unattended grow cold, and peace unspoken can fade. Keep your covenant alive by consistency. As long as you remember, you remain guarded. And now, prepare your spirit. What comes next will be the final release. The moment where Archangel Michael will seal at every word spoken, and your life will be marked with irreversible light. Stay present, because the last message will not only close this battle but open your next chapter of divine purpose. Beloved child of the eternal flame, this is the moment the Archangel has been leading you toward from the very beginning. The reason this message found you was not chance, it was divine appointment. You have walked through revelation, through warfare, through cleansing and awakening, and now you stand in the light of fulfillment. The demon that entered through envy has been expelled. The gate it used has been sealed with divine fire. But even more than that, the fear that once gave it permission to stay has been burned out of you. You are now a vessel of unshakable authority, a walking decree of light. Archangel Michael says, the house that resisted has become a throne of peace. I was shown a vision of your home as it appears in the heavenly realm. It glows with gold and sapphire hues, a dome of living energy. Angels circle it, their wings creating a hum that sounds like wind and worship at once. Michael stands above it, his sword lifted toward heaven, and he declares, "It is done." Those words echo across dimensions, rippling through every place where envy once whispered your name. The vibration of his decree travels even now, dismantling every residue of the curse that once sought to trouble you. The battle is not just finished, it is forgotten. Heaven no longer recognizes the mark of that attack upon your life. And now, the Archangel speaks of what lies ahead. He says every trial carries a scroll of inheritance. What was stolen through envy will return multiplied. Relationships that felt strained will heal under divine timing. Finances that were delayed will flow freely. Peace will become the atmosphere that defines your home. You will find yourself waking up in the morning without the heaviness that once shadowed you. The nights will be calm. Dreams will be clear. Your home will feel alive with warmth again. This is not temporary peace. It is covenantal peace, peace purchased through revelation and sealed by faith. But there is more. Archangel Michael reveals that those who have conquered envy must now become guardians of others who are still bound by it. He says, "Do not keep your deliverance private. Share it, for light unspoken fades. Your testimony will break others free. When you tell your story, it will not be just words, it will be a weapon. Darkness will flee from anyone who hears it with an open heart. Your deliverance carries transferable power, and through it, others will see proof that heaven still intervenes. The Archangel also delivers a personal blessing. Because you chose faith over fear, heaven will mark your lineage with protection. This means your children, and your children's children, will live under the covering you established. The spirit that once sought to enter your home will never cross your bloodline again. Generational heaviness has been interrupted. You have broken a pattern that existed long before you were born. What your ancestors could not end, you have ended. You have become the first of a new order, a family rooted in divine stability. Michael instructs you to remember this one truth above all: peace is not passive, it is power. Never treat your calm as weakness. It is proof that your spirit is now enthroned above confusion. When situations arise that try to steal your peace, remember that they are only echoes of old battles already won. Smile at them. Speak light over them. Your authority is not measured by how loudly you fight, but by how firmly you rest. The warrior who trusts completely no longer needs to swing the sword. Their stillness itself becomes a command. This is the final seal. Stand where you are, lift your head slightly, and in your heart whisper, "I am covered by divine fire." As you do, Michael's presence expands around you, forming a circle of endless light. The flame touches the boundaries of your home and beyond it, marking the territory of peace that now belongs to you. You will feel it in your atmosphere, in your thoughts, in the subtle quiet that follows. That silence is heaven saying yes. If this message has touched your soul, if you feel this divine current surrounding you, lift this mission higher. Like this video so the vibration of truth spreads. Share it to awaken another home that may be silently under siege. Comment below your declaration of victory, and subscribe to remain under the continuing mantle of light that flows through every message delivered here. Type "I am sealed in the fire of Michael" in the comments. Blessing code 9999 is now active over your household, your generations, and every place your name is spoken. And now, a word from the Archangel concerning your role in this mission of light. When you give, you are not supporting a platform. You are extending the wings of deliverance. Every seed released through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description becomes a spark that travels into the darkness where someone else is crying for freedom. Michael says, when light is sown, heaven multiplies it beyond measure. Your offering becomes a decree in motion. The word declares, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Today that verse is alive in you. As you release your gift, heaven opens windows above your home. The oil of abundance and protection will flow upon your name. You are not donating. You are participating in a divine exchange, sending fire where fear still lives. Archangel Michael blesses every giver, saying, "The one who sustains light will never walk in darkness." Release your seed now. Stand as a partner in this holy movement and declare, "My giving releases deliverance." The heavens have recorded your faith.